Welcome to Triggered Wrestling. It's Brian Garcia. We just had 2 crazy weeks of recording here on Triggered Wrestling. We had a week of previews for pay-per-views and a week of reviews for pay-per-views. So today's Saturday. We're chillaxing. We're going to talk a little bit of just random nonsense today before we see our boy Dios del Inframundo, formerly known as Drago, on AEW Collision. So stay tuned for that on this episode of Triggered Wrestling.
Triggered Wrestling is so awesome all the way around. That gets me triggered.
Ooh, okay, well, let's go with the bad trigger right now.
See, I'm a fan of all of it.
We'll force you to watch Triggered Wrestling.
So I'm joined by our lovely hosts here, Adrian De Los Santos, and once again, his wife, Caitlin. Hello, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, guys?
So today's Saturday. Besides watching Drago on AEW Collision, what else are you guys excited for?
I did see that Camille, formerly NWA World's Women's Champion, is a free agent now. Now I want to see where she's going to land. If she's going to re-sign... Bro, stop. If Camille is going to re-sign with the NWA, go to Impact, go to WWE, or AEW, or stay in the independent circuit. I don't know where she's going to go, but best believe your boy is going to keep a close eye on her because she is one of my favorites. One of the most overlooked women in professional wrestling today. So, yeah, man, Camille's on my radar, and I can't wait to see her in wrestling again.
What about you, Caitlin?
I'm actually really excited to watch the Samoa Joe and Pentagon match. It looks really great.
Yeah. And this is in the tournament, or this is not the tournament, right?
Yeah, it's the tournament. I believe it's the semifinals already. Finals being on September 20th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 20th.
There is something I want to talk about that isn't on our script today, and I'm going to throw it upon you guys. So this is a World Title Contenders tournament, right?
Correct.
What do you guys feel about Nick Wayne being in this tournament, considering he has not won a singles match in his AEW career, and he is in here?
I think it is complete BS and a slap to the people in the locker room. This is my personal opinion. I said it before and I keep saying it again. When it comes to AEW and WWE, QT Marshall, somebody that's been with the company since day one, in my opinion, at least deserves a bone. Nick Wayne, I understand he's a promising star. He's 18 years old. He trained with Darby Allin. Darby Allin has done a lot of great things for AEW, and I'm sure Tony Khan sees that. In a way, I'm thinking it's just, hey, Darby, you've done a lot for this company. Let me throw you a bone by giving your protege an opportunity for a world title contender match, and it was a main event of Dynamite.
Yeah.
What about you?
Let me just throw something in. I was really triggered that got the main event. But yeah, Caitlin, what about you?
You know, it's kind of hard because I like that AEW gives really young stars like this these types of opportunities. I feel like being on TV and everything is a different experience than going through like the indie scene. But at the same time, I agree with Adrian. There are a lot of people in that locker room that we haven't really seen on TV that much. And I know with the recent CM Punk debacle, there's going to be some shuffling and maybe we'll be seeing more people and more faces on the screen. But I wish, like, as far as the tournament goes, maybe Nick Wayne could have taken a step back and somebody with a little bit more seniority in the company would have taken that spot.
Oh, goddamn, impressive.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of little bit different people in here, like Jay Lethal. When was the last time he won a singles match? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he actually lost against Penta on Rampage.
Yeah, so there's that. I mean, also with Roderick Strong. I mean, he kind of got storyline thrown into this tournament. Trent Beretta as well. I mean, Trent did get some singles wins in a 3-way match versus Jon Moxley and Penta also. But, I mean, I feel like there's a little bit more deserving names on here. Like Jeff Hardy, seriously? I mean, I don't know. That's just me, and that's my triggered energy. And yeah, Nick Wayne, Darby Allin, the main event, bro, channel changer. I changed that shit like 2 hours before the main event even happened. Anyways, you know who's not a channel changer?
Who?
Dios del Inframundo, bro. I'm so excited.
For sure, bro. When we picked him up at the last Collectible Stampede to bring him to the event, he had some knowledge, had a lot to say, good and bad, about former employer in AAA. The man is just an excellent human being. Great fucking guy. You know, and he actually told us that it was supposed to be Dios del Inframundo and Aerostar making their AEW debut sooner, but then I guess he got injured and it was Samurai del Sol that took his spot. Or what's his name?
Yeah, Samurai del Sol, formerly known as Kalisto, ended up taking his spot in that match because he was injured. I forgot what he said he was injured from. I think he might have said his hamstring. But yeah, he should have made his debut before then.
Yep. And it's bringing me a lot of Lucha Underground vibes. A lot of people have been saying on the comments section when we posted that card on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram, Lucha Underground vibes. And pretty much Aerostar and Drago, Phoenix, Benta, Brian Cage, Killshot, aka Swerve Strickland, AR Fox, all these guys, the Mac, all came from Lucha Underground, and I'm fucking glad that they're here in front of my TV on a weekly basis. Maybe some more than others, but I like it. You know, more wrestling, the better for us fans. Yeah, man, Lucha Underground, it's a company that a lot of people slept on. And with the contract situation, what Drago was telling us, they weren't really legit contracts. So, hey, Lucha Underground is no more. Now we have AEW, Impact, NWA Power, Ring of Honor, WWE. So there's still wrestling going on. So I'm happy for that.
Let me ask you guys both this then. So what is the best part of wrestling today for you? Let's start with you, Caitlin.
The best part about wrestling to me right now is that we have so many options. And I think with social media, it makes it a little bit better too for the indie scene. I feel like they get a little bit more exposure that way, and I like to root for them. So I think those are my favorite things about wrestling today.
What about you, Adrian? What do you like about wrestling today?
I have 5 names that I want to say. My love for wrestling literally came back, and that is all thanks to Tony Khan, Tony Khan, Tony Khan, Tony Khan, and Tony Khan.
Oh my God.
But
you should thank his dad for making all that money. Without his dad's money, he wouldn't be able to do this.
That is facts. No,
facts,
but,
bro. Shout out to Shad Khan.
Yeah, but on a real note, though, I'll still say Cody Rhodes is heart and soul of AEW, even though he's no longer with the company. As we know, it all started from a tweet. Somebody messaged Meltzer and said, "Do you ever think an independent company can sell out 10,000 seats?" He said no. Cody Rhodes accepted the challenge. We had it all in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, and that's where Tony Khan found his love for wrestling, hit up the Elite. And 4 years later, we're here 5 years later, we're here now in AEW. And the part about AEW is that it made WWE better. There was the dark ages in WWE where it was literally going nowhere. Zero fucking story. People were just getting lost in the shuffle and nothing was really interesting. They went from 5 million viewers on a weekly basis to 1.5 in just 5 years. From, I believe, 2014 to 2019. And if it weren't for AEW, I don't think WWE would have waken up and be like, hey, we got a competitor. We need to step up our game. We need to build our stories. We need to build our stars. So, yeah. It made wrestling better. The independent scene got a lot better because they were also dying as well. And it revived all of wrestling altogether.
You guys are being so positive. So I'm going to do something negative here. I'm going to do the worst part about wrestling today. The worst part about wrestling today for me is all these storylines that are unfolding on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. For example, I saw... that's what's his name, not Santana, Ortiz posted pretty much that no one had his back for like the last couple months, blah 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 blah, and then Santana responds to him like, oh yeah, well, you never messaged me for months and months and months, not even how are you doing, nothing like that. And then the other one responds was like, I was your crutch for like 14 years, shit like that. And I'm like, I feel like this is a storyline, and if it's real life beef, they wouldn't be happening on Twitter, you know what I mean? Like, it would be happening via text message or some shit. And I don't like that, dude. Like, I'm not a fan of, to understand the storyline, you have to be following all these motherfuckers on Twitter. We got a podcast. There's people that run businesses. There's people that have kids that don't have time to be on fucking social media all the time. I mean, are they gonna, this is what this person tweeted to the other person earlier on in the week on the next episode of Collision or something, I just think that's downright ridiculous at this point. So I'm tired of these social media storylines. For example, Darby Allin getting attacked at a contract signing. At first, I guess it was kind of cool, but now it's like, everybody online, it's like, it's all a work, it's a shoot. I guess finding out the realism is kind of cool, but at this point, sometimes it's overdone.
Yeah, that's true. Like you were saying about the Santana and Ortiz feud. Yeah, it looks like it's going more towards a feud and not something like Sammy Guevara and Andrade, where people actually thought they had legit beef, or I'm sure they still do, or we don't know. We haven't seen anything about it. We just saw the reports from the prestigious Wrestling Observer newsletter that all of a sudden people like to believe, or they like to pick and choose what to believe from those dirt sheets. Yeah, actually, to be honest, the worst thing about wrestling, what I would say, since I'm on the topic, I would probably say the flip-flopping from the fans just the internet in general, where you have a select fan base where they just go and attack an individual for a storyline. For example, Holland, George Holland, what's that guy's name that dropped Big E on his head?
Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland, yes. For example, him. I understand it was an accident. Accidents happen, whether it's basketball, football, soccer, wrestling, your own personal daily job. The fact that those people literally went out and attacked the man for something that he had no control over, it was an accident. And that right there can lead to depression. And sadly, some of those actually lead to suicide. And that's something that, the toxicity of just fans in general bring to the table. Because nobody deserves that, especially, if it's an accident. It's not like he did it on purpose. We know Rich Holland didn't do it on purpose. But just the fans that take it too far. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that makes sense. What about you, Caitlin?
I really hate the fans that don't want to enjoy wrestling in general. Like I had said earlier, I think it's fantastic that we have all these options for wrestling nowadays, like to be on our TV. There's so much wrestling going on. But there are quite a few individuals on both sides that are like only hardcore, strictly WWE, or hardcore, strictly AEW. And having that type of real negative attitude, in my opinion, makes it very hard for the wrestlers to, get noticed when they're having good storylines or anything like that. I think it's super frustrating. Like, bro, just admit it. You watch both. It's okay. It's okay to like both.
I mean, I'll firmly say I do watch both, but I do not like AEW. But I still watch it, and it's, some things are really good. Some things, most of it's really bad. Like, I love MJF, but now they've ruined him slightly. Anyway.
I kind of disagree. I actually really like what is going on with MJF. I feel like you're a hater.
No, it's not that. Like, I don't know. Like, I really am a big fan of him and Adam Cole together. But I feel like this whole Samoa Joe thing is like, you guys could have chosen somebody else that's not a mid-card champion for developmental.
Bruh, this thing barely started, and you already hate it. You're so judgmental.
Yeah, but maybe it's because last time that Samoa Joe did something good on TV was when he was a WrestleMania ring announcer in a wetsuit. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say that. No, I mean, we'll see where this goes, honestly. But right now, I'm hesitant to say that I enjoy it, considering, if people overlook AEW when they do 18-minute promos, some marked podcasters, 18-minute promos in WWE are bad, and in AEW, they're good. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that can also go for other people that complain of flips in AEW, flippity-flop wrestlers, but then jizz all over their pants when somebody just does a regular-ass moonsault in WWE.
Tag them, bro. Tag them. Who says that?
I don't know. It was a WWE ring announcer that called Giovanni Vinci the high flyer of Imperium.
Who said that, bro? Who said that? Was that Michael Cole?
It was on Raw back when they had just joined. Imperium had just joined Raw, and I think it was their first or second match. I don't know if it was Corey Graves or Michael Cole. I think it was Corey Graves who said it. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's not a high flyer. But yeah, I mean, I like all of wrestling. There's some that I enjoy more than others. Storylines are great. To me, I see a point of a storyline. Yes, keep the viewers attended. But then when you have back to back 30, 40-minute promos that lead nowhere, and then somebody gets injured or goes on vacation like the Tribal Queef, now they have nothing. All of a sudden, Jimmy with 3 M's is wanting back in the bloodline, but then the week before we were told that he's still in the bloodline, and then weeks prior, he betrayed his brother. Wouldn't that tell Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman that Jimmy is in the bloodline, but now he wants back in, but then he said he's not?
It ain't that hard to understand, my guy. He told his brother, I don't want you to be the tribal chief because you're going to be a dick, just like the actual tribal chief. So he's not in the bloodline.
So has Jimmy never seen Star Wars and the Balance of the Force? I've never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender bringing peace to the world.
Stop, bro. Did you just say the Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah, bro.
You're trying to say that Ace Ventura, when nature calls, when he tries to bring the Wachuchu tribe and I don't remember the other name of the tribe together with the white bat. Do you guys remember that movie? No?
I remember the movie. I don't remember the scene.
Damn, bro. This guy. Go back and watch that shit, everybody, right now.
Yeah, no, but just this bloodline, it just does not make any sense at all whatsoever. It just makes no fucking sense. Jimmy betrayed Roman for Jay, but then betrays Jay for himself, and then now it's him that has a chip on his shoulder? Shouldn't Jimmy be the one that, hey, brother, please forgive me. I did what I had to do. Roman's a bad guy, but you're a babyface right now. You're hugging and smiling with Sami Zayn. I don't know how I thought you were going to be a bad guy when in reality you're a good guy. It just makes no fucking sense. And that's the point of wrestling, This long-term storytelling when it comes to WWE, they make no sense after a few months. And it just looks like writers are just making shit up. Like Paul Heyman said after, WrestleMania or whatever, PLE, and said that the Bloodline's only at the bottom of the third inning. Roman Reigns is absent for 2 months. So what, is it still going to be at the bottom of the third inning? Or is the game still going on? Who knows? Apparently, we still have another WrestleMania to go to where magically they're just going to scramble Cody Rhodes in there because they're not going to make him win a Rumble again or Chamber. So tournament it is probably.
I don't know, man. All I know is that was a long statement just to say you didn't like the story. But you're wrong because everybody loves the Bloodline at this point. Anyway.
You should check the comment section, my guy.
Comment section of trolls, bro. I'm not going to go digging into trolls right now.
And speaking of the worst parts about wrestling, when it comes to the women division, it's doing great. I hope they do more, especially when it comes to WWE and AEW. But nah, man, I've been hearing a few Mark podcasters talk a bunch of bull and just trash on the women's division because, they had a leave of absence because they had to give birth or are giving birth or are pregnant at the moment or just want to be with their families. And to me, I'm just like, bro, why are you hating on the women division for carrying somebody for 9 months and then trashing them and saying they're not the same? I mean, I've been seeing that a lot on social media. And if women want to have a career in wrestling, want to carry a baby for 9 months and want to go back into wrestling, so what? I mean, for example, Jade Cargill. She's on vacation from AEW and she's spending time with her daughter. A lot of people are saying, no, you need to come back or go train wrestling because you're not a real good wrestler or something like that, right? Or same with Becky Lynch. A lot of people say that she's not the same anymore. And that's completely wrong because what I see Becky Lynch doing right now is trying to put new talent over. Is it working? With Zoe Starks, not so much, especially with the Trish Stratus thing. But yeah, I wouldn't say Becky Lynch has lost a step or two. What do you think, Caitlin, since you're the female of the team?
Well, I think that the reason why maybe certain female wrestlers that come back after their leaves of absences, they're quote unquote not the same anymore, it literally doesn't have anything to do with their talent or their wrestling majority of the time. It most likely has something to do with the booking. Like, that shouldn't be blamed on the wrestler at all. If a dude needs to go and get back surgery and then come back to wrestle, is his wrestling not the same anymore? Like that type of thought process to me doesn't make a lot of sense. And I feel like those types of comments get made about women's wrestling a lot because unfortunately women's wrestling is still not viewed the same as men's wrestling, which is kind of garbage. A lot of people complain, oh, we need to see more women on wrestling. Most people are trying to change the channel or go have a snack break when women are having their matches. If people would actually sit down and give them the views, they wouldn't have low ratings and then they would probably get more time put into their stories. That's how it works.
I mean, I really did like the Becky Lynch Trish Stratus match. I like Rhea Ripley and the Raquel Rodriguez match. There's so many good wrestlers in NXT. And sadly, AEW is lacking behind. Like, even with Jade Cargill, yeah, was she green? Yes, but so was Goldberg, and they still found a way around it. And I liked when she was champion, and then I just feel like they rushed to take the belt off of her because Chris Statlander is all of a sudden healthy. Stuff like that kind of ruins what you're building up for not just Jade Cargill, but for the entire division, Because now Chris Statlander is the champion, barely beating Emi Sakura. And that stuff, to me, it's like infuriating. Like, I get they want to have competitive matches, but sometimes you just need to squash people, especially if they're not even working for the company, Like, I don't know if she's signed to Ring of Honor or not, but still.
Are you talking about Emi Sakura?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Emi Sakura. I know she's a legend.
Emi Sakura is a trainer.
Oh, she's a trainer? Oh, shit, I didn't know.
Yeah, she's a freaking veteran.
Well,
so that. To me, I feel like that Chris barely beating her was pretty, on point as far as keeping storylines together and things like that. Like, I would have been really disappointed if Chris squashed her.
So, I didn't know she was a trainer, for one. The only times I've ever seen her was on Dark, so... and then whenever she'd be, I mean, she's a jobber. I mean, I'm not going to bash her. Like, I've never seen her win a match in AEW. Like, I know she's talented. I'm not discrediting her talent. I'm just saying that storyline wise, it's like Gunther barely beating Dominic Mysterio or something, or Wesley, like somebody from NXT,
Right. And that makes sense. I think that's probably the reason why that she might lose often is probably because she's busy backstage, training and helping with talent and things like that. She's probably not really trying to look to get over or anything like that.
Yeah, but she's dope. I like her gimmick. Her little queen when she sits down and does she hog ties people and then sits on them and does a little tea.
Yeah, she did really good in this last match. She's actually a wrestler that I think gets overlooked a lot because a lot of people don't see her on TV, like you said, right? And when she came out to that quiet crowd, I literally put my phone down because I've seen her do this before. She comes out and the crowd's quiet because they don't really know her. And then she just absolutely wows them with all of her wrestling, throwing herself into the barricade, just being a badass and being a queen like she is.
Who's a bigger queen, Emi Sakura or Charlotte Flair? Adrian.
Charlotte, bro, of course.
Damn.
Nah, bro. Nah.
But yeah, that's what I like to say about you. I know you mentioned Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez, Becky Lynch, and Trish Stratus. Those are 2 matches out of the whole storyline or whole WWE that you've watched. I'm actually, in my way, I'm actually enjoying AEW's women's division a lot more because as we can see, for example, Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, they gave us trash for months. Just to have a good match 5-6 months later? Nah, my God. To me, those trash storylines, those are easily channel changers. Whether it's male or female, yeah, they lost me right away. Keep losing me every time they come in. Not because they're female, because the storyline is boring, and that's something the booker and the writers and head of creative need to come up with because they're the ones that put that BS on my TV. And if I'm not interested, best believe I'm gonna change the channel. But yeah, Raquel Rodriguez, Rhea Ripley, bullshit ass build up.
Oh my God.
What was the build up?
They've been building it up for a while now, ever since the whole leg injury and all that bullshit, bro.
So just attacking and getting your ass kicked, beating up your friends. Didn't Rhea Ripley's running through that division like it's nothing, bro. And that's making the whole division look weak and Rhea Ripley unstoppable. I mean, she's standing up to Kevin Owens, bruv. If you're a female and you're standing up to Kevin Owens, you're certainly a badass. Look at the Glamazon and the Great Khali, how she eliminated him at the Royal Rumble. China at the Royal Rumble as well, too. She became Intercontinental Champion, if I'm not mistaken, right?
She did, yeah. She beat Chris Jericho, and I think she feuded with...
I think Eddie Guerrero, right?
Huh?
Was it Eddie Guerrero too in a triple threat or was it just a regular one-on-one?
If I remember correctly, I think her and Chris Jericho were co-champions at the same point at one point in time. And I remember at Royal Rumble, it was Chris Jericho and her and someone else in a triple threat match. And I was at Royal Rumble in 2000. Let me double check. You guys can keep talking about this.
But yeah, just Rhea Ripley just so fucking dominant that it's making her look like nobody can touch her. Whether it's the men or the female locker room. In my way, it's when you build somebody up that fucking strong, when they lose, it's gonna be fucking boring and lazy booking. I mean, look what happened with Goldberg. He looked like an unstoppable force. Then, next thing you know, just the NWO was too much for him. He lost. Never cut that rhythm back. Even when he joined WWE the first time, he was running through everybody. I think his first opponent was The Rock. Goldberg versus The Rock. And then, what happened? WrestleMania, him and Brock Lesnar and Goldberg at WrestleMania. What? It was a 5-minute match? Boring. It's this is what companies get when they build somebody so strong. When they finally lose, it's pointless, worthless, and the payout is not even great.
So just because my Google's not broken, Chris Jericho defeated China and Hardcore Holly to win the undisputed WWF Intercontinental Championship because Chris Jericho and China were both champions at the same time.
Ooh, nice. May she rest in peace, China.
Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about your top 5 under the radar good entrances that nobody talks about. Adrian, do you have any entrances that you liked that were typically not the ones that are talked about, like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, things like that?
Me? Bro. So number 5, I mentioned him in my top 3 tag teams of all time. Number 5 for sure has to be La Parca, the second one. As a kid, watching a skeleton type man coming out and dancing to Michael Jackson, taunting in the ring, it was great. The dancing was great, and then once he finally got in the ring, it was all business. People thought this guy was just a character, wannabe Skeletor or some shit like that, and the way he brought himself was oh, this guy's not a threat, he's dancing to the ring. Nah, it's light work. But then when he got on the ring, smooth, bruv. 4, I'm gonna say Io Sky. Short little Asian woman. People oversee that. People say, oh, she's no threat. But then when she comes out, I do like her song and the way she arches her back or whatever. She stretches her back or something.
She flops around. Yeah.
Yeah, I like all that. Booker T, number 3. Can you dig it? Sucker! Bro, the fireball flames coming out. Booker T hopping on one leg and then the fireworks. Excellent work. Number 2. I'm gonna go with Too Cool. As a kid, I love tag team wrestling. As I said earlier before, La Parka dancing to the ring. Too Cool. Great gimmick, great dancing. A lot of people would oversee that, but they were a great tag team and great entrances. My number 1 overlooked entrance is gonna have to go to Tajiri. Same reason for Io Sky. People oversee that. His height. Tajiri doesn't smile to the ring. He just has a hunchback and just looks at the crowd. People see him like, oh, he's not a threat. But no, when Tajiri can go, he can go. And he's still wrestling to this day. That's how this man is fucking a legend. He, to me, is my number 1 overlooked entrance in professional wrestling.
So I'm going to go with my top 5. So my number 5, I'm going to go with John Morrison back in ECW, back in WWE when, they would slow down the camera and he would have the fireworks going off in the background. I thought that was pretty dope. Number 4, I'm going to go with the Mexicools. A lot of people forget that they came out with Juan Deers, bro.
Yup.
Speaking of the Mexicools, we are going to see Super Crazy at Collectible Stampede in October, and Psychosis was supposed to show up to the Barrio and Barrio Toys later this month, but he has been postponed to a TBD date, so that's pretty cool right there. Let's see, number 3, I'm going to go with Aleister Black from NXT. Remember, he would like be laying down and then they would like shoot him up and he would be like coming out of a coffin, bro. That shit was dope. Number 2, I'm gonna stay with NXT, bro. I really liked Baron Corbin's like original entrance where they'd have all the spotlights and he'd be like dun 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 dun, and then he would step into another light and the other light would turn off. I thought that was pretty dope. And for number 1, bro, I'm gonna go with Bobby Roode Glorious. His glorious entrance. People forget because he hasn't been on TV for a long time, but he had a great entrance, especially when he came out like with the full choir and just his shiny ass robe.
Glorious, I will be there, once I'm a glorious. I actually met Bobby Roode.
Yes, you did.
And my dumbass was like, good luck at the pay-per-view. He didn't even have a match that night.
This is true, bro. He was there in the back supporting the boys because in WWE they got to be there.
Yeah, in catering.
In catering, yes. Damn, fucked up, man. Well, let us know what your list is here. Let us know at Triggered Wrestling everywhere except for Twitter. On Twitter, we are TRIGG_wrestling. Let us know what your list is.
All right, and since we are talking about entrances, I want to talk about a surprising star, a wrestler that, just came under my radar and all of a sudden I'm a fan of.
Who's that?
Solo Sikoa. I'm not an avid NXT watcher. I've heard of him. I've seen a lot of people praise him. When he first showed up in WWE main roster, he wasn't much of a talker. He came in to help Roman Reigns cheat at Clash of Champions or Clash of the Castle. And I thought that it was a good move from WWE to call him back up and add him into the Bloodline storyline. Yeah, man, the man has he's young. The sky's the limit for him. He can still do it. And some people actually say that he could potentially be the next tribal chief. And I am not arguing that. Solo Sikoa has everything that can make him into a star. He even has Paul Heyman by his side if he needs a mouthpiece. So there you go. You're already making magic right there. You have the next star of WWE right there in Solo Sikoa. That's the star that I've overlooked. And now that he's on my TV, every time he's there, best believe your boy is tuning in.
Bro, you know who had all that help and Paul Heyman and didn't do shit?
Who?
Cesaro, bro.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Curtis Axel, Matthew McGillicuddy.
Oh, him too. But I want to say that Cesaro had Paul Heyman's help for a lot longer than Curtis Axel did. He even has the help of Jon Moxley. He has the help of everybody in AEW, and he is still in Ring of Honor.
And that's what sucks too, especially like we as viewers, we see that. But then I recently saw a video of John Cena of people who he likes working with. And one of them was Cesaro.
Yeah, because he's a good worker, bro. But from what I understand, he just, being a good wrestler isn't all that's needed to get over. I'm going to just leave it there. Like, he has the size and he has everything, but you need more than that to get over. Like, being a good wrestler only gets you so far.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I may not be more into the storylines and stuff like that, but you are correct. I am not going to argue that because, people like what they like. And if that's not what, attracts you, then, who am I to tell you that you're wrong? Nobody, because that's your opinion.
You know what I like about Cesaro? I like him tagging with Wheeler Yuta, and I know you hate that, Brian. I know you do. But I actually really love them together.
Damn.
What about you, Brian? Who's your star, your surprising star that you didn't think you were gonna like, but now you're like, holy shit, this guy's the real deal.
Somebody I don't like, and all of a sudden I know that they're the real fucking deal. Somebody I would say that has won me over with their work. Man, I'm gonna go with The Miz, bro. That guy can do it all. At the beginning when he came from Tough Enough, I was like, I remember seeing this guy on the Real World Rules Challenge. And I was like, he's going to win this contest.
Who?
And then we're going to see that nothing happens to him. But my God, that guy has been the most consistent wrestler of the last 2 decades because he is on TV all the time. The only time he's not on TV is when he's shooting television shows or having babies with his wife, Maurice. That guy is a workhorse, and anybody that says otherwise is wrong. The Miz, bro. That guy's the workhorse. He is the GOAT of all time. Second to none.
You talking about the guy that copied Jericho's gimmick?
Jericho copied his gimmick. Let's get that straight.
If you go back, Bleacher Report, Jericho said a story where, Miz is a blank copy of myself with the suits, started talking slowly. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. But no, the story's true, actually. Yes, Jericho did say that the Miz copied him.
Yeah, but no, the Miz is better. Miz did it better.
Who?
Mike the Miz Mizanin, bro.
Who?
Anyways.
You know what? We were talking about storylines and just wrestling in general. I want to know, what are they going to do to my man Cody Rhodes? Because right now, they have nothing for him. He's doing interviews in the Grayson Waller Effect. I believe that's the name of his show. But no direction on where his story is going to lead. I know the whole point is finish the story. But when is this quote-unquote story going to begin so you can end it? And I'm talking about his wrestling path from now until WrestleMania next year. Do you have any predictions or anything, Brian?
He ain't finishing the story, bro. He's not going to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. It's going to be somebody else. And I'm okay with it because after he got injured, he just came back and he wasn't the same, bro. No, but in all seriousness, right? He had all the hype behind him, and had he not gotten injured, we probably would have had him beating Roman Reigns.
So, Brian, does this have your seal of approval of factual things that are happening?
That he's not going to finish the story? Yeah. They're going to drag this out for like 7 years and be like, remember that last time when I was going to finish the story, bro? I finally finished the story right now. But no, it's not going to be him that's going to dethrone Roman Reigns. I feel like that's pretty clear here. Is it going to be Jey Uso? Is it going to be Seth Rollins? Is it going to be John Cena to win the 17th time and break the record held by Ric Flair, bro? Who knows? But I think it's pretty clear that it's not going to be Cody Rhodes, at least now.
That is true. Speaking of John Cena, the man that we cannot see, he actually hinted that he has not won the Intercontinental Championship. And Gunther just became the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. I don't see John Cena being a threat, even if they do have a match together. Who do you think will stop Gunther?
The Miz, bro, because The Miz just played the smackdown on John Cena on Monday Night Raw. It was a beating that nobody saw coming, bro. It was a mugging, bro. He just whooped his ass on Monday Night Raw.
It's a one-sided brawl, bro. Did you see that?
It was wild, my guy.
Yeah.
No, like I mentioned before, dude, if I see Gunther, whenever he challenges the world title, he's going to still be Intercontinental Champion. That's my stamp of guaranteed shit that's going to be happening on the wrestling shows. Oh, man. Anyway, Caitlin, you've been kind of quiet. What do you got to say? What is your guaranteed stamp of approval of things that's going to happen?
I think that Swerve Strickland is going to get a championship. Maybe not now.
That's very vague, but like a Ring of Honor championship or like AEW World Championship? Like what?
I want to say AEW because of the amount of work that he's putting into this character. I really loved his promo that he did earlier this week with Hangman. And I'm a big fan of Hangman as well. And I like the persona that he's putting off. It's kind of different. It's interesting with the mogul affiliates. And like, he has Brian freaking Cage. I mean, like, they got to do something fun with that. Like, first it was MJF and Wardlow. Like, now they got to have another, like, little guy, big guy combo. Like, I kind of like that style. I don't know.
But Swerve's taller than Brian Cage.
Yeah. So what you're saying is...
But he's beefier.
He's beefier.
Like, he's way beefier than Swerve.
So what you're saying is, as we know with Wardlow and MJF, they kind of ruined that in a way. Are you saying that hopefully they make it better with this one, or try to right their wrong with Swerve Strickland and Brian Cage?
I think so. I think that Brian Cage is a better hired gun than Wardlow.
Oh,
I think so. I think that Brian Cage is pretty freaking outstanding as a wrestler. He's super safe. Wardlow is still very new, but Brian's been doing this for a long time on the indie scene. I mean, we watched him at One Supreme Night wrestle these smaller wrestlers, and there's nothing wrong with that, but he did so good with them. I haven't really seen Wardlow do that except like squash matches, and that's boring to me. Brian can wrestle anybody though without doing a squash match.
Oh yeah, and by the way, guys, a friend of the podcast named as Guapo Lupe, who wrestles here in Sacramento, California with Supreme Pro Wrestling, defeated Brian Cage in a fatal 4-way for his X Championship. So keep on the lookout for Guapo Lupe. He is a beast. He may be small, but the man can go and he can fucking wrestle too, bro.
He also beat Dios del Inframundo at Collectible Stampede. Remember that?
Yeah, he did. Yup. It was a triple threat.
It was a triple threat with Jekyll's. Yep. Man, so we've been discussed so many things today right before we get into AEW Collision. Do you guys have any final thoughts here?
Let me ask you this. I know Survivor Series is coming up, one of WWE's main 4 PLEs. It's around the corner. Are they going to do a War Games at Survivor Series or not? Or it hasn't got announced? Or are they going to go back to the Survivor Series thing where a team of 5 can get eliminated?
It's going to be War Games. I think they announced that Triple H is not a fan of Survivor Series matches and that they're going to just make it a War Games to be always at Survivor Series for the time being.
That's nice. I know somebody like Randy Orton who made his career in Survivor Series matches. I want to see him return. They say he's close to a return. Do you have a prediction on when he can return, Brian? Where can he fit in story-wise with Riddle, Drew McIntyre? Because I'm a fan of fucking the legend killer, Randy Orton. And it would be sad for the doctors to tell him that he can no longer wrestle and to retire. I would like to see him back. I know you're the more of a WWE watcher. Do you have any predictions on where he can fit in right now, or when can he return?
I have no idea when he's going to return, and I have no idea where he would fit in. I want to say you probably throw him on Monday Night Raw and have him feud with Matt Riddle. Be like, yo, you tried replacing me with Drew McIntyre, my guy? You've been the joke this entire time. That's what I think. But let me shoot something to Caitlin here. Caitlin, I'm going to name off 3 women here. You're going to be like, this is my world champion. This is the mid-card champion. And one of the names you have to fire, okay?
I have to fire somebody?
You have to fire someone. And they're going to be, let's stay with AEW. And I'm going to do it with the Outcasts. So Saraya, Toni Storm, and Ruby Soho. So who's going to be your women's champion? Who's going to be the mid-card champion? Who are you going to fire out of those 3?
Oh, man. Okay. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. And I'm going to be really sad to say this, but because there's nothing going on with Ruby Soho at the moment, I'm gonna fire her, just so she can go do something somewhere else. But as the mid-card champ, I kind of want to give it to Saraya, because with what Toni Storm is doing right now, I really want her to be champion as the illustrious Toni Storm.
All right. So that leaves Saraya to be the mid-card champion. This was a good one. I just thought it up right now.
I mean, I love Saraya. I've been a fan of her since she was in WWE as Paige. I think I've been following her on Instagram for the last decade, I want to say. Or probably longer than that, to be honest with you. Even when she was out of WWE, because I just really enjoy her personality, and I liked her character in WWE, and I kind of like her now. She's really loud. She's really, like, nasty and mean to, like, the people in the crowd.
She's like a natural, likable person, I think. Because even my fiancée, my wifey, she doesn't keep up with a lot of wrestling here, but she knows who Saraya is because we did go watch that movie, Fighting with My Family.
Oh, that's a good movie.
And since then, she like knows who it is, and then she started dating Ronnie Radke, and then she's like, oh my god, that's Paige. And then, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a really interesting relationship, because I remember following her still while she was trying to be with
Alberto Del Rio, the one who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named. Yeah, him. And it seemed pretty, like, nasty, you know? So, like, when she got with Ronnie, I was kind of like, oh, man, like, musicians are probably just as bad as wrestlers, so let's see what happens. But they seem to be pretty happy, so I'm happy for her.
Yeah, and, you know, this sucks because people like Alberto Del Rio, who I'm a fan of, people like that, you can't really say that out loud for some reason nowadays because people give you the wrong looks. Oh, you support that? I was like, no, my guy, I don't support what the fuck he did. Just because I liked his wrestling does not mean I have to like the human behind the character. He's actually, I think he wrestled for AAA a few weeks back, and I think he's still with the company, or if he's doing one-offs, I'm not too sure.
He was doing one-offs. I think when you say a couple weeks ago.
Months. I should have said months. My bad.
Yeah, it was months. It was like the 3-way International Championship World Cup thing that they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me ask you this thing, Brian. Right now, as we see in the Hurt Business 2.0 and Judgment Day square off on Friday Night SmackDown, and Judgment Day is a newly crowned WWE Undisputed Tag Team Champions. Do you see that feud too soon, or do you think that you want WWE to build that up for 6 months?
Yeah, they should have built up the Hurt Business quite a bit before this, because they literally just got together. They should have built it up. They rushed into this a little bit. You know, they've been teasing MVP bringing them back for like the longest time. Now it's Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits. Like, they rushed this. They could have done something different, and I'm kind of sad.
Why you sad, my guy? If you got energy, spread it, please.
Because I like the Hurt Business, bro, and I like the Judgment Day, and I feel like it was ruined. They should have built up both teams, or at least built up Hurt Business a little bit more, but it is what it is. Street Profits, I mean, they were on a losing streak, and all of a sudden, they're still losing, right? I think they lost.
All of a sudden, they want to act like big, bad, tough guys, and yeah, we're going to take what's ours. But motherfucker, use a jobber. The only thing that's yours is an L. You already taken those home. What do you mean we're going to take what's ours?
Yeah, man, I don't know. Not a fan.
Is that really their name, Hurt Business 2.0? I just called them that because, I mean, I don't know. Bobby Lashley, it looks like they were. I don't think that's their name, but hopefully they come up with something quick, because AEW still hasn't come up with the name for Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh.
The Jarrett family offices.
Yeah, I didn't even want to say all the people's names.
Jarrett family offices, bro.
There you go, Jarrett family office.
That's a ripoff of the Matt Hardy office and then the Andrade office. Oh, man.
Since we're called Triggered Wrestling, I want to bring up one last topic to the table real quick. And that is a topic of wrestlers that you loved, but now don't really care about. And to me, I'm going to have to go with the Usos, man. That storyline is caca. Lazy. Horrible booking. They had something great as the longest reigning tag team champions. They had something great with the bloodline. They had something great with the main event, Jey Uso. The whole backstabbing to not backstabbing to I'm in the bloodline to I'm not in the bloodline to only the tribal chief says you're in the bloodline even though you never left. Horrible, man. They are becoming channel changers. Well, mainly Jimmy's storyline, especially since the tribal chief himself is no longer there. And that's probably why John Cena got brought back, because they literally have 0 fucking stars for SmackDown and they had to bring the GOAT. It just sucks, man. Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, don't know what they're doing separately, but they were a lot better as a tag team and with the bloodline. What about you, Brian?
You go, Caitlin. I want to go last.
Okay. I used to really love Roman Reigns when he was in the Shield. And I know that's going to really upset people, and I don't care.
It's upsetting me.
I don't care. I don't care. I used to love him when he was in the Shield, the way they would come out, like, through the audience, and he was, like, you know, the big guy of the group. It was great. I loved it. And then he defeated The Undertaker, and I've hated him since, because how dare he? I'm sorry. The Undertaker didn't deserve that. He's my absolute favorite wrestler in the whole entire world, and Roman Reigns did not deserve that win. Undertaker should have won that night, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, this...
So triggered. So triggered.
I'm sleeping on the fucking couch tonight, bro, because Roman Reigns defeating The Undertaker was good and bad for Roman Reigns, but that promo Monday night after WrestleMania, 5 words, it's all he said. 5 words is all Roman Reigns had to say.
This is my yard now, or something like that, right?
This is my yard now. He left people stunned.
People booed the fuck out of him.
The people that were booing him became fans immediately.
Except me.
Man.
This is going to have to be a behind the scenes argument. Brian?
Jesus. Let me go with my list. I'm gonna go with 2 names. Well, 3 names technically, because 2 of them are a team, and one of them let's just do the team. I'm gonna go with the Hardy Boys. I used to love them back in the 90s, back in the 2000s. Matt Hardy version 1, the leader of worlds with Bray Wyatt. I like that. Then they get to AEW, and then we see everything all over again. And I'm like, I already saw it the second time when you did it with WWE. Now the third time when you're trying to do it with AEW is not the same. Not even the second time you did it. And then with Jeff Hardy, we did see like Willow, we saw that, and then now in AEW, it's like, you guys been doing this now, right? Since essentially, I think they debuted it in 1989 when they're like 16 years old. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty much the same thing in the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, the 2020s. And I'm like, either do something different or just kind of stop. And I know it's like hard because financially eventually like this is your job, and I understand that part, but like Bully Ray is like the perfect example of the Dudley Boys.
Yes.
He was there with you guys and he changed so many times, like from Bubba Ray Dudley to the leader of the Aces and Eights to Bully Ray. Like he changed so much, and he's been like, my time's over. I want to retire or have matches here and there, because you do lose that like mystique around yourself, because you're like seeing these guys essentially wrestle fall apart in front of your eyes kind of thing. And it's like, sadly, it's not what people remember nowadays.
Yeah, I actually kind of agree with you on that, especially since the Hardys are getting a little older. They should change their style a bit, maybe still keep it the same, but
they just wrestled a crazy ass style and then they kind of still want to be doing the same shit. And I'm like, bro, you guys are looking like you're struggling to walk.
Yes.
Like Rob Zombie out on stage now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw a Jeff Hardy match. It was I forgot who it was against. It was his first match back from his arrest, and I wouldn't say he looks tired. It just looks like the bumps are actually hurting a lot more than they used to, and it's like, bro, change your style. You can still do the same, do the Swanton Bomb, but if you want to do other crazy stuff, just change it and adjust your style, and you can still do the same gimmick and stuff. But you're right, Brian. Wrestlers like that, kind of like with Ric Flair, where the man literally passed out twice.
He didn't pass out, though. He died 3 times in the ring.
He died 3 times. Andrade was doing mouth to mouth in the corner. But yes, that is something wrestlers need to do. Basically, take care of their bodies. And if you're getting older, change it up a bit, so you can still walk, see grandchildren.
Yeah, I don't want to hear like in 5 years that like, oh, they're starting to GoFundMe because he needs hip surgery from his years in wrestling. Like, that's sad. Like when it happened to Jake the Snake and the documentaries, like that's sad. And take care of yourself, man. I mean, we love what you did for all of us. I appreciate it, but you don't have to keep doing those things now. Like, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right, well, this is a fucking sad way to end
Yeah,
Triggered Wrestling, goddamn. Well, I mean, share us your triggered energy if we just fucking killed your vibe. Oh, fuck. Anyways, let us know what you think at Triggered Wrestling. Join us in the conversations. Comment, like, subscribe, let us know.
Yeah, and if you guys want a top list of something, want to know my top 5, Brian's top 5, Kellen's top 5 of anything wrestling related, hit us up on the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, emails out there on our website. Hit us up anywhere you guys want it. Triggered Wrestling on Twitter, X. We are TRIGG_WRESTLING. Any last words, guys?
Roman Reigns sucks.
Damn.
Taker lives on forever.
Damn. All right. Well, we're Triggered Wrestling. Stay triggered.
Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang.
Damn.